व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरवनचारी यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की, जय जगतगुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृतं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायस्य भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमः। Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 3, text number 27. Chapter name: Krishna is the source of all incarnation. We will also read text number 28 and the purport and translation, because text 27 purport is only one line. So with the permission of seniors, we will cover 2 slokas. We repeat the verse for 28. This verse I will just read the sloka translation and purport. Rishaya manavo deva manuputra mahajasa kalah sarve hare reva saprajapatayah smritah. Translation: all the rishis, the manus, the demigods and the descendants of Manu who are especially powerful are plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. This also includes the Prajapatis. Purport: those who are comparatively less powerful are called devotee, and those who are comparatively more powerful are called aves, incarnations. Text 28. Ete cham sakalah pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indari Vyakulam Lokam Nadayanti Yuge Yuge Ete Cham Sakalaha Pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indari Vyakulam Lokam Nadayanti Yuge Yuge Ete Cham Sakalaha Pumsaha Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indari Vyakulam Lokam Nadayanti Yuge Yuge. What meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Ete, all this, Cha and Amsa, plenary portions, Kala, portions of the plenary portions, Pumsaha, of the Supreme, Krishna, Lord Krishna, Tu, but Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Swayam, in person, Indradi, the enemies of Indra, Vyakulam, disturbed, Lokam, all the planets, Vidayanti, gives protection, Yuge Yuge, in different ages, Translation: all of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or the portions of the plenary portions of the Lord, but Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. Prabhupada has not mentioned Indra in the translation, but it says in the word to word meaning he has written. Purport: in this particular stanza, Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is distinguished from other incarnations. He is counted amongst the avatars because out of his causeless mercy, the Lord descends from his transcendental abode. Avatar means one who descends. All the incarnations of the Lord, including the Lord himself, descend to the different planets of the material world, as also in different species of life, to fulfill particular missions. Sometimes he comes himself, and sometimes his different plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, or his differentiated portions, directly or indirectly empowered by him, descend to this material world to execute certain specific functions. Originally, the Lord is full of all opulences, all prowess, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. When all when they are partly manifested through the plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions, it should be noted that certain manifestations of his different powers are required for those particular functions. When in the room small electric bulbs are displayed, it does not mean that electric powerhouse is limited by the small bulbs. The same powerhouse can supply power to operate large-scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnations of the Lord display limited powers because so much power is needed at that particular time. For example, Lord Parsuram and Lord Nisimha displayed unusual opulence by killing the disobedient Kshatriyas 21 times and killing the greatly powerful atheist Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that even the demigods in other planets would tremble simply by the unfavorable raising of his eyebrow. The demigods in the higher level of material existence many times excel the most well-to-do human beings in longevity, beauty, wealth, paraphernalia, and all other aspects. Still, they were afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Thus, we can simply imagine how powerful Hiranyakashipu was in this material world. But even Hiranyakasipu was cut into small pieces by the nails of Lord Nrsimha. This means that anyone materially powerful cannot stand the strength of the Lord's nails. Similarly, Jamdagnya displayed the Lord's power to kill all the disobedient kings powerfully situated in their respective states. The Lord's empowered incarnation Narada and plenary incarnation Varaha, as well as indirectly empowered Lord Buddha, created faith in the mass of people. The incarnations of Ram and Dhanvantari displayed his fame, and Balram, Mohini, and Vamana exhibited his beauty. Dattatreya, Matsya, Kumar, and Kapila exhibited his transcendental knowledge. Nara and Narayan rishis exhibited his renunciation. So, all the different indirectly or directly empowered incarnations of the Lord manifested different features. But Lord Krishna is the primeval Lord, exhibited the complete features of the Godhead, and thus it is confirmed that He is the source of all other incarnations. And most extraordinary feature exhibited by Lord Sri Krishna was his internal energetic manifestation of his pastimes with the cowherd girls. His pastimes with the gopis are all displays of transcendental existence bliss, and knowledge. Although these are manifested apparently as sex love, the specific attraction of his pastimes with the gopis should never be misunderstood. The Bhagavatam relates these transcendental pastimes in the 10th canto, and in order to reach the position to understand the transcendental nature of Lord Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, the Bhagavatam promotes the student gradually in 9 other cantos. According to Srila Jiva Goswami's statement, in accordance with authoritative sources, Lord Krishna is the source of all other incarnations. It is not that Lord Krishna has any source of incarnation. All the symptoms of the supreme truth are present in full, are present in the person of Lord Sri Krishna. And in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord emphatically declares that there is no truth greater than or equal to Himself. In this stanza, the word Swayam is particularly mentioned to confirm that Lord Krishna has no other source than Himself. Although in other places the incarnations are described as Bhagavan because of their specific functions, nowhere are they declared to be the Supreme Personality. In this stanza, the word Swayam signifies the supremacy as the Somum, Bonum. The Somum, Bonum Krishna is one without a second. He himself has expanded himself in various parts, portions, and particles as Swayam Rupa, Swayam Prakash, Tadekatma, Prabhava, Vaibhava, Vilas, Avatar, Aves, and Jivas, all provided with innumerable energies just suitable to the respective persons and personalities. Learned scholars in transcendental subjects have carefully analyzed the Samam Bonam Krishna to have 64 principal attributes. All the expansions or categories of the Lord possesses only some percentage of these attributes, but Sri Krishna is the possessor of the attributes cent percent, and his personal expansions such as Swayam Prakash and Tad Ekatma up to the categories of the avatars who are Vishnu Tattva possesses up to 93% of these transcendental attributes. Lord Shiva, who is neither avatar nor aves, nor in between them, possesses almost 84% of the attributes. But the jivas or the individual living beings in different statuses of life possesses up to the limit of 78% of the attributes. In the conditioned state of material existence, the living being possesses these attributes in very minute quantity, varying in terms of the pious life of the living being. The most perfect living being is Brahma, the supreme administrator of one in universe. He possesses 78% of the attributes in full. All other demigods have the same attributes in less quantity, whereas human beings possesses the attributes in very minute quantity. The standard of perfection for a human being is to develop the attributes up to 78% in full. The living being can never possess attributes like Lord Shiva, Vishnu, or Lord Krishna. A living being can become godly by developing the 78% transcendental attributes in fullness, but he can never become a god like Shiva, Vishnu, or Krishna. He can become a Brahma in due course. The godly living beings who are residents of the planets in the spiritual sky are eternal associates of God in different spiritual planets called Horidham and Mahesdham. The abode of Lord Krishna above all other spiritual planets is called Krishna Lok or Golok Vrindavan, and the perfected living being by developing 78% of the above attributes in fullness can enter the planet of Krishna Loka after leaving the present material world. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलम् Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Visakamitam नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्याय नाम्ने गौरतुसे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रा सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So thank you for coming in this session to bless me. I seek all of your kind prayers and empowerment so that I can speak on this vast topic, although unqualified, and attempt some purification of heart and please the superiors. Hare Krishna. So this verse is a kind of conclusion of this chapter, and in the series of answers to the various avatars, Sutta Goswami has explained so many expansions of Lord, and after telling all of them, he himself uh, wants to conclude now because these are endless, endless. How many waves are there in ocean? How many drops are there in ocean? Who nobody can count. So similarly, the avatars, the expansions of Lord, they are unlimited in number. They cannot be counted. Anything that can be counted comes in the category of limitedness. The unlimited Supreme Lord, how can someone count them? Therefore, he gives a conclusion about the inconceivable Supreme Personality of Godhead. That these all ultimately are expansions of Etich Cha Amsa. They are all amshas, they are parts of whom Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And why he comes? He keeps on coming to protect the theists. So Prabhupada writes in the translation theists and to destroy the atheist or give protection to the theist from the atheists. And the what word meaning the slokas as it is Prabhupada writes there Indra for protecting Indra from different disturbances. Indra Ari. Indra Ari means those who are enemies of Indra. To protect Indra from his Aris, he comes again and again. I was just recently reading 10th canto where I read the pastime of Krishna marrying 16,100 queens, princesses who were kidnapped by Narakasura. So after that episode, that entire episode started with Indra begging to Lord. He comes to Dwarka and informs that there is some theft happened in the heavenly planets. My jewelries are stolen. My wife's earrings are stolen. And who has stolen this Narkasur? He is so powerful. he has the power to come in my area, and I am the king of the entire heavens, and in front of me he steals these things and I am helpless. Therefore you only can help me, a Dwarkadhish. And like that he pleads to Lord Krishna. And then Lord Krishna goes in the hunting expedition. He wants to finish Narkasur because he wants to give shelter to Indra, who is pleading for help. And that time he accompanies one of his queen in that fight. And who was that? Satyabhama. Because Narkasur is the son of Bhumi Devi, and Bhumi is an expansion of Satyabhama. So if at all Krishna wants to kill Narkasur, because he has promised Bhumi that I will never kill Narkasur without your permission. Now Satyabhama is the original Bhumi. Therefore, Krishna very intelligently takes Satyabhama in that battle, and that battle is described in so beautiful way, as if a movie is going on. That Narkasur has built a big palace, and around the palace is a water body which is called moat, M-O-A-T, moat. This is for protecting the palace from invaders. But that water body is so huge that inside the water body a big giant five-headed demon used to reside, and the name of the demon was Mura, by killing whom Krishna got the name Murari. And when Krishna he came in riding with Satyabhama in Garud. So I was just thinking what kind of ride it must have been. So no matter how much we imagine, we cannot imagine. The Bhagavatam says many subjects in a way as if these are common happenings in those yugas, like Shiva replacing the head of Daksha Prajapati. So those who are practicing medicine or in medical line, they know that transplanting liver and kidney is such a meticulous task. If there is any mistake, the patient will die. But Bhagavatam says head transplant. That too from one species to another. Body of human, head of goat. But Bhagavatam is not interested to describe how that transplant happened. Bhagavatam goes on. This happened. These are very small matters in the from the standard of Bhagavatam. These are very small matters. So how exactly Krishna rides upon Garuda is a very small matter with the actual essence of Krishna saving the devotees or the pastimes of bhakti related things. So Krishna with his wife Satyabhama, he alone fights so many soldiers there and he defeats them one after another, one after another. And finally he blows his conch shell Panchajanya, and by the sound of Panchajanya, this demon who was sleeping or he was inside that water body, he comes out and he is so huge. He has 5 heads and he is so giant. So in childhood, I had seen one movie, King Kong. So one sight was there that when King Kong he came out from the water, he was looking very giant and the humans were looking very small. So these movie makers, I think they are already referring to the scriptures for their storyline and somehow stealing the content. Like some superhero is moving very fast and they call them Flash. But actually we read in Bhagavatam, such a fast moving personality is Parsuram. He moves with the speed of mind, and by the time the enemy realizes that he has to take the weapon out from his quiver, he sees that his hands are not with him because Parsuram has already decapitated his body into various parts. Just like in Mahabharata, we see Bhurishrava trying to kill Satyaki. So that time Krishna says Arjuna that protect your body because Satyaki was his Anga Rakshak. So Anga Rakshak is like Anga, his own body. So Bhurishrava had with his left hand the neck of Satyaki and right hand he lifted with the sword to chop off his head. And by the time he swung his hand, he found his hand is not there. He said, "Where is my hand?" Actually, Arjuna had decapitated his hand, and Bhurishrama is a Vaishnava. So this was Mahabharata. Anyway, coming back to that incident of Krishna killing Narkasur. So Krishna destroys. So when he blows the conch shell, Panchajanya, this Murari comes. Murari, not Murari. Mura comes. Murari is Krishna. He blew the conch shell. So Mura comes out, and he's with a lot of rage. He shouts, and that shout again is imitated by the superhero character movies. Like they made this character called Hulk. This guy shouts and people fall down unconscious. So this Mura, he shouted so loudly. It is written in Bhagavatam. His sound reached the upper planetary system, up beyond the Brahma Loka, to the and hit the walls of universe and reverberated back, making an echo. So that was his loudness. But no matter how loud he was, Krishna is there in front of him. How can he fight Krishna? So after little bit of play, immediately with his Sudarshan Chakra, in one shot, Mura died. All his 5 heads were decapitated. Then came his 7 sons with a big army, and they threw so many weapons. It is described as if it became a cloud which covered the sun, and nothing was visible. It became dark. So many arrows and weapons and maces, laces, so many types of categories of weapons were mentioned. The spears, tridents, they were thrown. But Krishna, with his arrows only, he neutralized all the weapons that were directed against him. And then he finished all the 7 sons. Finally came in riding in elephants, and these were not ordinary elephants. These are the descendants of Airavat. This means these elephants had multiple tusks and very giant. And it was written a fluid called Mada was emanating, coming out from their eyelids or temporal glands. It is a sign that elephants are very much agitated to fight. They are incited to fight. But Garuda took care of the elephants with his beaks and nails. He disturbed the elephants. The elephants rather took a U-turn and started destroying his own army. And then finally the battle with Narakasura started. And when Narakasura was fiercely about to attack, Krishna till that time was not killing him with his Sudarshan. But that time Satyabhama became worried and instantly told that before he attacks, you please finish him off. What are you waiting for? And Krishna was waiting for her instruction only. And then, because she is herself the original Bhumi Devi, Narakasura was finished, and then Krishna rescued all the princesses. And when he enters that inside the palace of the place where queens were kept, all the queens individually thought the best person to have as our husband is this personality. We will not marry anyone else. And then they pleaded to Krishna, please accept us because we have been kidnapped by this demon. No one else is going to accept us. And mercifully Krishna takes each one of them. So I was wondering, the pastimes of Krishna himself is so inconceivable. He goes with Arjuna for a friendly sporting expedition to the forest, like Kshatriyas go for hunting, and he comes with 2-3 wives. He gets married to 3 wives. He goes to hunt Asura and marries 16,100 wives. So who can imitate the activities of Krishna? So this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and there is no original Godhead like in the purport. Prabhupada has already mentioned some of the aspects from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 20th chapter, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking to Sanatana Goswami about Krishna's dham, various planets, in which how Gokuldham is the topmost, and he also explains the various avtaras and those classifications. The first few slokas appear as if we are able to understand, but the more we read the slokas, we feel that the previous slokas are now creating confusion. So they are there is so much information available in those chapters. So I tried to make some simple notes from that so that I can personally understand and share also to explain this purport where Prabhupada is telling the different expansions of Krishna. So I don't know how much I will be able to explain and how much others will understand, but still I will share, because some things we should speak and hear for purification. So here in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, Madhya Lila, it starts from 165 onwards. 150 onwards almost it starts, 20th chapter. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains to Sanatana Goswami that Krishna has multiple forms. The major category are just three. These are called Swayam Rupa, Tadekatma, and Aves. In the about which the previous verse already mentioned. So Swayam Rupa. Swayam Rupa is again divided into Prabhav Prakash and Vaibhav Prakash. What is Prabhav Prakash? Like Devaki Nandan 400 Krishna, they are the Prabhav Prakash. And Vaibhav Prakash means Krishna when he is the same Devaki Nandan but he is 200. Like, and also Baladev. These are the Prakash forms of Swayam Rupa. Swayam means, like this verse is telling, Swayam ite cham sakala Krishna, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So that means Swayam Rupa means all other forms will be now explained in reference to the Swayam form. Swayam form doesn't have a further reference. He is the original. No other forms is above that. It is like the sweet 200 form of Krishna playing flute, and he does various pastimes. So these are the Swayam Prakash, which are further divided into Vilas and Prabhav. So this is one category. Then comes Tadekatma, Tadekatma Roop. Tadekatma has further two categories, Swamsa and Vilas. Swamsa includes Purusha Avtaras and various Lila Avtaras. Like Purusha Avtaras means Mahavishnu, Garvodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu. And Lila Avtaras means Nishimha, Vamana, Matsya, all these things. These are the Swamsa Tad Ekatma Rupa. Then comes Prabhava Vilas Tad Ekatma Rupa, which includes Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And then Vaibhav Vilas Tadekatma Rupa, which includes the 24 Vishnu forms, about which in the last class I was explaining about that the Vishnu who is having four hands, based on the location of the weapons or the paraphernalia, 24, and these 24 Vishnu names are chanted when we do full Achaman, or we put Tilak, 12 of them we name, and when we do full Achaman, 24 Vishnu names are chanted. Also, 12 names of Vishnu out of that is also, each one of them is a predominating deity of the 12 months. So every month there is one predominating deity, like we say Damodar month. So Damodara Om, and we also say during Achaman Om Damodarai Namah, like we spill water. So these are the names we find already incorporated in our day-to-day chat. So actually pleasing each one of them through various elaborate worship is more difficult than just by chanting their names. That, or in other words, chanting their names itself is a way of pleasing them. And when we put tilak or do achaman and chant their names, basically we are referring to all these forms of Lord. So our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara is so beautiful. In our culture, so much philosophy is hidden and so much technicalities are hidden. If we do proper research, we will be astonished to find so many details. Like when in Bhagavatam, Indra is seeking Narayan Kavach. The Narayan Kavach is only mantras, filled with mantras. And again, may Nrsimha, may Damodara, may Achyuta, may Keshava protect you from left, right, top, bottom, different directions like that. He is given a Narayan Kavach. So, therefore, this there is one sloka that says, Adi Ante Cha Madhya Cha Hari Sarvatra Giyate. Whether you take the beginning of the scriptures, middle of the scriptures, or the concluding parts of the scriptures, everywhere holy name or Hari is only sung, directly or indirectly. There is no doubt about it. Then comes the Aves incarnation. So about this, the previous sloka was telling that there are two types of such Aves. So one is Vibhuti and one is Avesh. Vibhuti is less powerful incarnations, and Aves is more. Aves means Krishna is giving special uh, empowerment to some personality, and Vibhuti means like in Vibhuti Yoga in 10th chapter we read like someone is very special among a very big group, like among the mountains, a particular Himalaya or Mandara mountain is special. Among the snakes and serpents, Vasuki or Ananta is special. Among the Pandavas, Arjuna is special. Like that, Vibhuti Yoga in that chapter, Krishna says, I am the Vibhuti, I am the special among the ordinary. So that is also one of, in one way, like in the previous sloka it was written, all the Prajapatis are also included there. So they are special because they are Prajapatis. They are not ordinary Pati. They are empowered to further the activity of creation. So in this way, Krishna's expansions and various forms, they only give us a hint about how Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is. Apart from that, there are 64 qualities Prabhupada writes in the purport. So this comes in Srimad Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So in one session, I think very many years ago, Amrish Maharaj was only explaining about some of the qualities, and they were very beautiful. One of the qualities of Krishna was he is expert linguist. He can understand the language of all species. One time I was traveling and I was expressing to one senior devotee that I have many desires and I fear probably some of them are material desire. He asked me, what is your specific desire that you are referring to right now? Then I told that I have a desire to understand the language of all the species. What this cockroach is speaking to the other cockroach, what this lizard is telling, what these birds are telling, what this dog is thinking and telling when he is looking at me. And that senior devotee told me, this is not a good desire. This is a risky desire. You may end up becoming an animal in all the species just to understand the language in all the species. But you will never become such a person, being human, that you will understand the language of all the species, because that is a very risky, you can say, risky capacity, a risky boon. One person had that boon and he died because that boon became the curse. And who was that? Father of Kaikeyi. This comes when Mother Sita and Ram and Lakshman, they were about to dress the forest, take the forest dress and go for the exile. So that time Ram had taken the tree bark dress, but Mother Sita was having difficulty wearing that. That time Kaikeyi very harshly put that dress upon her, and Mother Sita screamed, seeing that everybody were filled with, their eyes were filled with tears. And that time Sumantra became so angry, he that time spoke that Kaikeyi, you are just like your mother, who became responsible for the death of her own husband. Similarly, through your activities, you will be the cause of the death of your own husband, Darshan Maharaj. And that time, that episode unfolds where Kaikeyi is thinking, how does Sumantra knows about this incident of my mother being responsible for the death of my father? And then the story comes. It goes to the past about the father of Kaikeyi and father of Kaikeyi. So Kaikeyi's father had this special power, a boon you can say, which became a curse later. The boon was he could understand the language of all the animals, what they are speaking. So one time he was in the bed with his wife, and outside there were two birds, probably parrots. I don't remember the species, but there were two birds. They were speaking something, and the father of Kaikeyi, he laughed. He laughed very heavily, and his wife became curious. Why did he laugh? He said, "These birds, they are making a comment about us." And she says, what did they comment? But the boon was that whatever he hears from the animal species, if he speaks to someone, he will instantly die. And this was known to his wife. But she was so adamant. She said, no, you must tell me what these two birds are speaking. Please tell me, please tell me, please tell me. He said, I will die. He said, I don't care. She's taking his words so taken for granted that She is ready to ignore the fact that he may really die, and she makes him speak what these two birds were speaking. I forgot that exactly what the comment was, and then she laughed, and the husband died. And this was such a secret thing. Kaikai never thought that a person who is so serious and grave like Sumantra, he will know this. Therefore, Sumantra was very special. It was said that he knew stories and histories and also future, some of the future predictions. When Ram went to exile, when he would be coronated, many of the things he was already aware because he heard from many great sages about the future of Ayodhya and also the Ramayana. What are the stories that are going to unfold? But he always had the patience to speak the truth when it was required or when it was necessary. He will not speak before time. It's like one should not speak everything just because he knows everything. Because one should wait for the right time or place, circumstance. Otherwise, things may like when a father is growing the children. Not everything should be spoon fed. Something should be given for him to himself learn by his own mistakes. Otherwise, that learning will lose the charm. He will not learn it properly. Anyway, so the point is when Krishna, so this senior dude, I was referring to that, he was telling me that having this kind of power is risky and this desire is risky. One can again enter into animal kingdom and just to experience what it means to speak with birds. So like that there are so many qualities and Prabhupada is writing about quoting Jiva Goswami. Basically Jiva Goswami gives this percentage that if Krishna's qualities are 100%, Jiva can only attain how much? 78%, and that too when he becomes Brahma. That means who are we in front of Brahma? And those demigods who are created by Brahma, they are sharing lesser power than Brahma. That means lesser percentage. And in front of the demigods, we are so insignificant. And people like Brahma and Indra, they are getting bewildered. I was telling about this pastime. I forgot why I spoke that pastime about Narakasur Vada. Now I remember. I was telling this because after this pastime happened, Krishna returns to Indra his belongings. And while he returns back to Dwarka, he happens to see that Parijat tree in the garden of Indra. And Krishna had promised to Satyabhama that from heavens I will bring you the Parijat tree. Because sometimes back, it was Narad Muni who had gifted Queen Rukmini one Parijat flower, which is having a heavenly fragrance and nectar. But seeing that, Satyabhama felt envious. And she told Krishna that so Rukmini got a Parijat flower, I want the entire tree. And Prabhupada writes in the purport, Prabhupada's disciples are writing the purport that Krishna is acting like an ordinary husband who submits to the appeal of the wife for going for a shopkeeping to a mall and fulfill all her desire. So Krishna took Satyabhama for shopkeeping to heavenly planets and chose her own favorite plant, the tree, Parijat tree. So Krishna took the Parijat tree and he was leaving. And the same Indra who was there few days back pleading to Krishna, please protect me from Narakasur, he started a war with Krishna. And Krishna defeated Indra. So, and the same, I was thinking how Indra forgets. The same Indra, when Krishna was in Vrindavan, he did this Govardhan Lila. He was so ashamed. He was not able to face Krishna because of his mischievous act. And because of his arrogance, whatever he did, trying to submerge Vrindavan with the floods, destroy Vrindavan. And he took shelter of Mother Surabhi, and then Bhaya Surabhi, he surrendered to Krishna, and that time he took shelter of Krishna. And the same Indra again did like this. Therefore, Sukdev Goswami in 10th canto, 7th sloka, he says, alas, high with this demigods, high, to hell with this opulent kingdom, to hell with the heavenly pleasure, to hell with the wealth. Because this thing make one so proud that one keeps on forgetting how Krishna is giving them shelter. And they keep on challenging the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Like that, Sukadeva Goswami himself gets irritated by because he has he has recited so many events of Indra. So in 10th canto, he says this, alas, like that words come, like that it comes. So this is Krishna bewildering even someone who is sharing as close to like Brahma is has 78% of the qualities that Krishna has. So Krishna can bewilder even Brahma. What to talk of this in Chaitanya Charitamrita? When I was preparing for this class, I read that section again. Sanatan Shiksha. Read that Vasudev, the 400 Krishna, Vasudev, 400 Krishna. He is astonished to see a painting of 200 sweet Krishna, and he is telling that what a rasa these devotees in Vrindavan they are relishing in the presence of this sweet 200 form of the Lord. May I also get that chance to release the love and devotion like Srimati Radharani and the Vrajavasis. Who is telling this? Dwarka Krishna, Vasudeva Krishna. So therefore, when I first heard in one of the Janmashtami lecture, one senior devotee gave a class and he said that Vasudev brought Vasudev, the kid Vasudev from Mathura, from the jail, and then Yasuda actually had given birth to 200 Krishna. And when this Vasudeva was put, Vasudeva was not able to see Krishna. So Dwarka Krishna was brought by Vasudeva and it was kept beside Vrindavan Krishna, although because of his Rasha, he can only reciprocate with Lord in the Vasudeva format, Dwarka Krishna format. Therefore, Vasudeva was not able to see the Vrindavan Krishna. But Vasudeva, little baby Krishna, was seeing beside Vrindavan Krishna and he himself was shocked to see the beauty of. So one Krishna is seeing another Krishna and he is astonished that how this Krishna is so beautiful. And then it is said they merge together. And then later when Akrura takes Krishna to Mathura, that time basically Vrindavan Krishna stays in Vrindavan in the unmanifested form and the Dwarka Krishna lives with Akrurji. So in this way, these pastimes are very astonishing how Krishna himself is bewildered by his own forms. Although, so therefore in the 64 qualities, 4 qualities are exclusive property of Krishna and these are described by Jiva Goswami as the 4 Madhuris, Leela, Venu, Rup and Bhakta Madhuri. Leela Madhuri, Rup Madhuri, Venu Madhuri and Bhakta Madhuri. How these things specifically discriminates Krishna from all other forms of Lord Krishna. And then 60 qualities are shared by other forms of Krishna, Vishnu and all. And then we have to calculate the percentage. 78%, 50 qualities are shared by Shiva, I think, Brahma or Shiva it was written. So in this way, we realize that we are, so if someone reads this description, if there was any tinge of Mayavad, where he thought that I can become, after doing some sadhana, God, he should give up the hope to become God, because we are different. We are so different that in our fullest capacity also, we are very tiny in front of Lord Krishna. Like the fullest capacity is, I was thinking that this calculation, 64 qualities of Krishna, Brahma has 78%. So this 78% that Brahma has, that is not like Krishna having those qualities. Like Krishna has, let's say, 10 qualities and we have 7 qualities out of them. So the 7 qualities also that we possess is not like Krishna possessing those qualities. Even those are less than what Krishna has. Krishna is so dynamic. Krishna is so generally we quote this sloka of Aswarasya Samagrasya Viryasya Sriya that comes in SSR Prabhupada quotes that to explain the definition of Bhagavan from Parashar Muni. Who is Bhagavan? One who has 6 opulences. But if you read Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I have unending opulences. How many should I tell? So these are for our reference, because our mind needs some boundary to start thinking. We cannot think about inconceivable without using something that we can conceive. Therefore, these 6 parameters are told: knowledge, beauty, fame, renunciation, strength, wealth, all these things. And when we forget about all the opulences, just one opulence if we just take up, in that we find so many details. Like when Ashwatthama attacked the Brahmastra, Srimad Bhagavatam first canto it comes. that it is described Arjuna's eyes he became so angry, his eyes were like red copper. And Krishna became so angry, his eyes were like petals of lotus. How can someone who is so angry, his eyes will look like petals of lotus? So this is transcendence. Krishna, normally people when they sweat, by far we want to keep some distance. So like some working devotee, they come and open their shirt up, their sweating shirt, we feel to go, please do it fast. We used to tell them, please do it fast, get fresh fast. Because sweat is so, it doesn't look well. When sometimes current electricity goes off because of load shedding, sometimes we see the pujari, he will move his head like this so that the sweat falls. So much sweat comes, it becomes irritating. The nose area sweat comes. Like for example, myself, I have a lot of issue with my nose. Already I have a lot of issue. It keeps on nosing. But when sweat comes here, it becomes so irritating. I have to run it off. I have to, and that time we cannot turn on the fan also, even if there is electricity, because the Arati's lamp will blow off. So many times I do like this. The sweat doesn't look well in human body. It is so a kind of mala that body emanates. But the same sweat, when it is there in the forehead of Krishna, Bhisma Pitama is glorifying. That it is appearing as if that a decoration of chandan has been made in the kapola, in your forehead. Because you are looking so beautiful. Because Bhisma Pitama is seeing Krishna in the battlefield from the front side. Sun rays are falling in his face and the sweats are reflecting like pearls. And this sight is so beautiful and mesmerizing. This is Krishna's beauty. Then our that is chant in the morning, Nasim Arati, Tavakara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Sringam. Tavakara Kamal. Kamal is so soft. Then it describes about Nakham, and the nails are so hard. How Krishna accommodates with beauty, strength. Generally in this world, if someone is very strong, he looks very ugly. One boy was telling that after doing gym, people become like kekla. They start looking like kekla with two hands. Mango twigs fell. वो केकड़ा बन जाते हैं तो केकड़ा men do not look beautiful, like V-shaped body, like that they walk. This side bicep, this side, when as long as they are wearing some t-shirt, they still look so, but the moment they open, it looks like someone has really done some experiment in their body and they are a result of a failed experiment. The God-given natural beauty is finished. So Krishna doesn't need those biceps. So Prabhupada, when first time he asked that draw a painting of Krishna lifting Gokuldham, someone actually did like that Atlas lifting earth and tired. So someone drew such a picture of Krishna with biceps. Krishna, Prabhupada said, what is this? Krishna is 7-year-old. He's a sweet coward boy. He doesn't need such huge muscles to lift Govardhan. He's very tender. In one Japa session, once Maharaj was telling that Krishna's body is so tender that when a leaf falls from the tree, it touches his body, that leaf creates an impression in his hand. And the same Krishna's hands, which is so tender, when it enters the mouth of the demon Bakasur, Bakasur is feeling someone has put a hot immersion rod. And instead of hitting the water, I am getting heated out. And Bakasur dies, choking to death. So, there is no scope of a living entity who can ever, after reading this verse, if he is sane, if that living being has some sense, he will never say that I can become God. Because such things, so many wonderful things are just done by expansions of Krishna, what Krishna can do. What to talk of Krishna's expansions is like when I was preparing a session for Barsana, one lecture, I was asked one night before that tomorrow you have to give a class in the Yatra. So I was hearing a lecture. That time categories of gopis were so many types that I was bewildered. Rishi Chari, Shruti Chari, this Chari, that Chari. Some gopis were expansions of the heavenly apsaras, some were from the Ramayana. Yagya, when Ramchandra was doing Yagyas, he had made many murtis of Sita. They also had life and they told, now marry us, you made us. Ramchandra said, I have ek patni, but they said, no, this is injustice. Then again Ram said, okay, wait, some little bit you wait, I will come as Krishna, don't worry. They also came. And there were some Nitya Siddha gopis also that manifested. So if Krishna's pleasure potency can have such forms, who is Lord Sri Krishna? So this is a very wonderful verse, a very conclusive one, and devotees quote it to establish how Krishna is the supreme personality of God and nobody else. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.